Hello? Hello? Yes? Very good. Fine, fine, thanks you. And you? Yeah, perfect. Yes, it's a good plan. Mhm. Mhm. Yes. Yes, first of all, it was not nothing boring at all. I think that actually all my interest, as in specifically in many topics that you talk about, all the risk modeling, markets, credit risk, Airbnb, RB, stress testing, all of this. Now I will go out a little bit through my experience and my maybe my profession, but yes, for me, I can relate to most of the topics there, and well, very interesting, and thank you for the introduction. From a part, I am a mathematician. Actually, my bachelor was in mathematics, and then I work in HSBC in mainly in the risk modeling teams in three positions. At the beginning, I was doing credit models, then I was a part of the validation and yes, but validation team that it was independent model review of the models of most of the areas of the bank. I I was involved in credit risk, in market risk, forecasting, economic capitals, money laundry, stress testing, LGD, LPD, um, well in and as well in algo trading models in which I participate for just most in pricing in stock markets, pricing in the algo trading team. And then I had the opportunity to get in. I am in Berlin right now, in finishing my master in data science, where I have been able to increase my knowledge and my experience in as well in machine learning models, in new technology, in new ways to deal with. Well, I have always focused in risk and forecasting. This is one of my classification models, and so all what I have learning here was regarding that specific topics as well. For example, here I am making some stochastic calculus, which because I want to understand more and more all the dynamics in that can be confronted in stock markets as well. But well, it's overall my interest and my experience so far is in risk management, risk credits, risk market, and most of the modeling credit, most of the modeling risk areas. Yes. Well, since I was in HSBC, most of the half of the 3 years, there was a lot of interest in machine learning models to use. Most of the models in credit, for default credit models, and are with now with at least decision trees or neural networks or random forests or other technique machine learning techniques which improved so much the classical statistical models. For example, the traditional models or the benchmark, it will be like a logistic regression, which will be like the standard, but it increased so much the performance for that. And at 5 years ago, when I was starting, or 6 years ago when I was starting, most of the things were with statistical modeling, but now with the help of the cloud and with the help of more powerful computers, it is very easy to go over and to have better models. And many neural networks, the normal at the beginning it was normal, but then I saw that one of the most used was random forest and boost and techniques. like bootstrapping technique. No, in IRB models, I have not seen them. I participate in some of them, and maybe I had not all the full experience that all the techniques that were employed in that, but then it was more a statistical approach, and but but I can see that it will be helpful for depending the application. The problem sometimes is that for regulatory models or for the regulators, um, there's there is a little, you have to be careful with some very new techniques and to be more transparent. And I saw it in credit in algo trading models. It was used in money laundering as well for clustering. It can be an application of like unsupervised machine learning techniques. Just it is what extended in that even in when you want to do statistical models, you want to do some clustering to try to segment some populations in where a statistical model can be better fitted, and even cluster you can use, um, yeah, together with the statistical, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm, yes, exactly. This was the challenge that we have with some relators, and well, what I can now there are many techniques to what they are most afraid of is that the variables that are used, we don't know how important are they, and to see the sensitivity of each variable. And there are many new techniques to deal with that. Even if you have a black box, you can have like a coefficient of each variable, the sensitivity or the impact, which can be very similar interpreted like a coefficient in a regression. Like for example, when you have a regression, each coefficient implies some sensitivity, some importance of this variable, which can be as well done with black box models as well. And the idea is try to convince the people that has concerns with it, how can explain that to them, and that they feel comfortable, of course, with some visualization, explain the new techniques. And yes, I think that can be done. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. My role, well, my role was taking a project we work like a project based team, like because exactly we provide like an audit, like a validation of the other areas. So we were I had the responsibility to review and to make recommendations and the enhancements, improvements to the model. And then I participated in that, for example, 2 3 months, in which I can determine if the model performs good and how to explain this to the more senior stakeholders, the impact and the risk that they can, if it is fit for the purpose of the business. And then we change to another project. So the structure of the team was not very fixed because it was like the leader. There was a leader of some project, and sometimes you can be a leader in the horizontal and as well in the with someone below you, and let's say hierarchically. But it was quite flexible, and to respond, if I had some most of well at the end, like the last year, I was most in my own and with another people that was in charge of me. But in this, I was the leader of the project, not that they were hierarchically on me. Yeah. Yeah. How do I develop, or do I with the team, with the help of the team, I will be in charge of uh, uh, okay. Mm, yeah. Well, first, when I start a project, the most important thing is to, with a client, to know how is the data, and how good is the data, and if they have, yes, if the cleaning of the data, and not only that, because maybe sometimes you have to deal with their own data team, which has to deal with that. And I have found, I remember in a project when at the end of the day, 3 months later, there was like a consultory with that was going to provide the service, but just the data was so bad that it was not able to go to start. So the data and the quality of the data is very important. Is I will put people, or to take people that can deal with that at the beginning. And then when it is done that, well, at the same time, maybe to see how variables can fit and can be discriminated against with the target variables that we want to do, and maybe create some new variables that as well is important. Then you have to coordinate very good with the data team, because the data team is going to see if that is important or not. And then with the creation of the model itself, of course, if I have to do it, or if I can go with other people, of course, the people that it is very good with that, and I will go with them, and to do it. mm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say building models, then to make the validation of the models. Uh, okay. Specifically, you said the IRB model. Yeah, yeah, the like PD, like the PD model. Um, well, I have to remember a little bit more about the model. It is the default of the expected default probability of default. So yes, well, at the end will be a classificator model. We can start always. I will start always with a logistic regression model, maybe to have a benchmark and to see what is the requirement of the performance that they are looking for, and from that. Yes, to see which are the variables that can discriminate the and to play with them. I'm not sure if that was the maybe the answer that you well the questions. Mm, exactly. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Um, in a scorecard, well, the default the days of default of the of the clients, and and well, for example, there was times of the models of PDA that I saw that was like point wise and long term. In one of them, you deal with economical variables and as well for making maybe a stress testing then. But if you don't want to consider that and you take it just like without economical variables, normally, yes, it's the variables from the clients that has to do with um, the days for default, the and well the the age of the well the age of the enterprises, the and the scores that you can have from other providers. Normally, you buy scores from another providers, and this will be as well the one of the most important variables. Yeah. Yes, yeah, all the finances. Yes, yes, yes. And what is the calibration process? Mm, maybe I just want to well what in which I have more experience was in retail in in credit models. That's why maybe I don't. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, when you have your score, but you have a probability of default there because you have like yeah, this is the output from a logistic regression. Then you want to make a calibration in which, for example, in here we have from 0 to 100, and you just want to make sure that your you have a good calibration, that the outcome from the regression model, well, the logistic road model, scale in this 0 to 100. And then, well, in my bank was a separate team that, of course, I know what they do, that they make cuts or thresholds in which you decide in which threshold you want to risk yourself, because there was the more maybe uh, uh, Ah, 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 exactly. Ah, ah, uh-huh. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Well, you can do it with. I don't, it was not with the genie, or there were some metrics. Exactly. Exactly. And make buckets if you want to decide. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Well, I know that depending of your the outcome of the model, the just at the end the exposure, the exposure default that you have to increase or reduce your capital reserves, and that's what's the most important things from this to be good enough, so you can have more money to free money for the bank. So this will be the impact. The RB is when I remember that it's when you have enough data to make your own model, and the AFRS 9 was a new methodology because before it was always to see to the future, to the past, and then this new methodology try to be more looking to the future type of models. Maybe now I don't have very fresh which is the how was done that, but that's I remember it was the key part of this. Yes. Uh huh. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. Well, I would like to apply all my experience and all the what I have learned in my bachelor, my master, and I think that, well, in this area in risk modeling, it's I can do it very in a full way, and so this is my goal to apply all my knowledge in a full way, and just in a consultory on or breaks like this, it will be my yeah my goal. Yeah. No, I don't have any problems from that. Actually, since Igor told me about the position, he told me exactly this, that there are many parts in that of the Europe or in other places out Europe that has been you have to travel, and for me it's very okay, but even exciting. So it doesn't have any problem for that. And now I am having one subject and my thesis only, and in which I was well now I talk with my thesis tutor. Well, the professor that's going to help me with that, and I'm going to take it partial time because I want a full job. It is possible, and I don't have any problem to do it remotely with that. So my priority is now to have a full job and continue partial time with my last semester that it was not. Yeah. Mm, mm, uh, there are many roles, or there are many you say many roles that you are looking for, or different profiles, or which is the the one that you are more interested now, or is it? Mm, mm, mm. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and make proposal, right? Interesting proposals and innovations that can be sold to maybe to. Yes, yes, perfect, makes sense. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Mm. Mm. Yeah. No, yeah, I'm pretty convinced about as well that, and well, I was had the opportunity to in HSBC to work with some consultants and consultories, and I saw exactly how if they did it very good, they just have another project there because they just did it well, and your work and talked is show what you do, and you grow and grow if you do that very well. And I saw it, and yes, I'm very convinced that it's a good, it's a very good approach and plan, and it's good. Yeah. Mm. And I think that no problem. Just the process will be, you will communicate with me, and will. Mhm. Yeah. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward for your communication, and it was very interesting this conversation. Thank you. Bye.